None-such palace rang with merriment and music on this long winter night, for the 21st of February, 1580, marked the birth of Isabella, Princess of Wales and Queen Elizabeth's sole heir to the English throne. This year was a particularly grand celebration, for Anabel, as she was known to her intimates, had reached the age of 18. The courtyards, ballrooms, and corridors of Henry VIII's delicately wrought Nonsuch palace bubbled with not only celebration, but speculation. Elizabeth had always kept her daughter closely guarded and at one remove from her court. But now that Anabel was 18, surely the Queen must begin to give serious thought to her daughter's future consort. Lucette Courtenay had wished Anabel well earlier in the day and did not feel compelled to fight her way through tonight's flatterers simply to lay particular claim to her childhood friend. Anyway, Pippa and Kit were both at her side. Lucette's twin siblings would be 18 themselves within the week, and they had always taken Anabel as one of their own. A trio, adept at going their own way and charming themselves out of trouble when necessary. At 22, Lucette felt herself much more than 4 years their elder. Her brother Stephen caught her eye as she turned away. "Leaving already?" he asked, his deep voice so much like Dominic's that it always startled her. "You know I'm not interested in festivities as such. Besides, I've been summoned." "A private assignation?" He might have been teasing. "Should I follow at a discreet distance to guard your honor?" "I'm quite capable of guarding my own honor," she retorted. "Not that Dr. D is likely to threaten it." He laughed softly as she left. Slipping through palace corridors that became decreasingly populated the farther she moved away from England's royals, Lucette did not bother to wonder why Dr. D had sent for her. John D had been her tutor and mentor since she was 14, and Lucette was accustomed to his unusual demands. He might have anything to say to her tonight, from a debate on whether algebra or algebra was the correct term for that field of mathematics, to a request to sight the stars with him. She hoped it wasn't the latter. It was really very cold outdoors, and not that much warmer in the tower room up the 4 flights of spiral stairs that she climbed now. She was resigned to nearly anything. But when Lucette knocked and was told to come in, she found herself very surprised indeed. Dr. D awaited her, as expected, but so did another man, one who stood with his back to the fire so that his figure was outlined in hazy light. She knew that figure, as did everyone at England's court, and many outside it. Francis Walsingham, Queen Elizabeth's principal secretary and intelligencer. Severe in his black clothing, and somewhat devilish with his pointed beard, Walsingham said, "Welcome, Lady Lucette, and thank you for coming." "I didn't come for you," she replied, only realizing her rudeness as she spoke. She pressed her lips tightly together, determined not to be shaken. Amusement ghosted through Walsingham's eyes as John D said mildly, "Don't let's stand on ceremony, my dear. Be seated, and hear Sir Francis out." What else could she do? One did not flout the requests of Francis Walsingham. Besides, she trusted Dr. D as much as she trusted anyone, and knew he would not be involved in subterfuge if he did not think it necessary. Lucette let her amber-coloured skirts bell around her as she sat. She was accustomed to simpler gowns and adornments, but one could not grow up Minuet Courtenay's daughter without learning how to use even fabric to one's advantage. Not that she had ever acquired her mother's instinctive grace.